the first day of the end of your lives.
Hello, for those who know me, you know me as the Forsaken Nerd. For those who don't, hello, I play a lot of this game. So if you've been around the block as long as I have, you'll know that Forsaken's kills are a pretty mixed bag. You had the potentially overtuned 600LKIDD, the mid-tier 1x and Slasher, and then there's John Doe and Cool Kid. I'm not even going to beat around the bush, these two suck to play as. Everyone besides from those two have some kind of bullshit factor that you have to play around. It makes my head hurt. Sixer obviously has his Blood Hunt. Noli has the worst status effect in the game. I'm not even going to mention Entanglement. This might be way more balanced in my eyes. Raging Pace is... It's Raging Pace, what do you want me to say? Cool Kid and John Doe don't get this bullshit factor. I mean, obviously John Doe has somewhat of an excuse, considering he's got 3 traps that have little to no counterplay if set correctly, but Cool Kid doesn't really have all that. Sure, his burn damage being able to kill is stupid, and honestly, even despite having 100 plus levels on him, I still think it shouldn't, but that's the only real thing that considers directly bullshit in this kit. The rest of his moves feel kind of lackluster considering what we have now. Not to mention he's perhaps the most baseline killer, being 1 in the 3 in the lineup to suffer from this dash, projectile, and location reveal ability lineup. He shares with both Sixer and Noli, and honestly, Noli's just better Cool Kid. I wish I was being funny. So, what can we do? Honestly, not much. Cool Kid's state is pretty unchangeable despite the nerfs and buffs he's received over the course of the game. Even with the walk speed override change, I still think he's very lacking. For being L, John Forsaken, and the guy from The Thing, I decided to be mentally ill and rework Cool Kid, changing a few things to give him more of an edge instead of being left in the dust. Will this be balanced? No. But considering the game's state, I'm letting you decide that. First things first, I'm not changing any stats. I'm not a big enough nut to balance those, even if I am the one making the rework. Figure it out in your own time. However, there is one change I'm gonna make depending on how one of the moves works. First up, walk speed override. Now, I had trouble making this unique. My first idea was basically just Noli's dash, but I decided to steal 6s instead. Walk speed override can gain up to 3 charges over time, or maybe every M1 hit with, lowered M1 damage in that case. Hitting the keybind again with a charge allows you to stop in place with a 0.7 second windup before being able to hard turn directions. Think Peppino's Stash and Pizza Tower. If you aim it up, you can even lunge in the air like the big kitty. However, because of the mobility increase, I think it'd be good to change it back to 30 damage to on contact 40. This would allow Cool Kid to perform some pretty insane tricks. Not relying on survivals or charge time to get a huge amount of distance would be a massive upside. However, since he's still going in a straight line even if he's charging, he's still got that weakness even with the added mobility. However, since, he's able to lunge and all that, I still think it would allow for way cooler plays. Pun fully intended. Corrupt Nature, you know what? You're being left alone. An omnidirectional projectile that gives someone slowness and pierces all that is really fitting for how Cool Kid would play. And it even synergizes with the new lunge I'd give walk speed override, because, slow them down and then lunge up to where they're hiding. Well done. Pizza delivery, ooh, a bit of a sillier rework. I say as I give walk speed the override to launch Cool Kid like a damn cannonball. Instead of having just 2 minions, I feel like it'd be way cooler if he used the full extent of Team Cool Kid, being able to have more summonables instead of just, the 2 pizza minions. Tapping the button for just a moment would summon 4 really fast pizza minions, each of them going after a different survivor. They go full sprint towards the select victim before lunging at them. No matter if it misses or hits, they disappear after doing their lunge. They wouldn't be highlighted after, so they have to hit that. Holding the button for a moment before Cool Kid hits his hand on the ground summons the regular pizza minions, no other stuff. I've considered wondering if they should make them a bit faster, but you know what, they're still solid even after all these nerfs. Holding the button for the full duration summons what I'm dubbing the Cool Tank, a hulking massive minion that never despawns and has 50 total HP. Killing it is the only way to get rid of it. It never despawns naturally. It moves really slowly towards the nearest survivor with a hulking hitbox, and has a radius where people will be highlighted instead of having to actively hit them. Of course, it increases the cooldown of the move by an extra 20 seconds to compensate, however, I feel like that'd be more than worth it. So anyway, that was my attempt to rework my favorite killers. Also my first video ever. I don't expect this to pop off at all, but in the off chance that you enjoy this, stick around. I'll make more, eventually. I'll make some more edits, those are fun to make. Have fun out there. And, how do people usually end these? I don't know.